So My Hero Academia chapter 359 is out, and after reading the chapter, it's obvious that this is the beginning of the end for Mirio Togata and the rest of the big three of UA. Now, Mirio, Tamaki, and Nedre aren't dead yet, but as a prophet, I predict that they will die in this arc. Now listen, they aren't the only characters who I predict are getting sent straight to the Shadow Realm this arc. There's more predictions that I have, but I'm gonna start with the big three. The big three of UA was one of the more underutilized set of characters in MHA, especially Nedre, which makes them perfect for being sacrificed to our god Shigi. Look, Horikoshi is speedrunning MHA right now. He's ready to end it. He gives zero fucks about these characters. Endeavor lost an arm, Jiro lost an earlobe, and Bakugo got a spotlight chapter only to immediately get his arm crushed like a glow stick. So what makes you think that these three jobbers are making it out of this war arc safely? Mirio's character arc is finished, Tamaki's character arc is finished, and Nedre's character arc didn't even start. They have no more use in the story. Plus, this man Tamaki really just set all three of them up for failure. I want to have a proper graduation. If that ain't the biggest death flag that I've ever seen, the only way you can make it more obvious is by giving them a flashback as they fight Shigi. Big three, more like big zero, because all of them are gone. Gonna have to have that graduation in the Shadow Realm. Speaking of heroes, Best Genius, you've been knocking on death's door a couple of times throughout this series, haven't you? I mean, you should have died at Kamino when Offone turned you into a donut. I for sure see Best Genius die in this arc, because not only is he missing a lung thanks to All For One, but he's also Bakugo's sensei. And what better way to traumatize Bakugo more than by killing his sensei, because, you know, shattering his arm wasn't enough. Alright, so we got the big three dying and the number 3 ranked hero in Japan dying. How about we go ahead and add the number 1 ranked hero, Endeavor? As much as I love Endeavor, I can't lie and say that his name is not at the top of the list of possible deaths for this arc. His death is practically written in the stars. He's fighting All For One, All Might's greatest rival. He's lost an arm, which is pretty eyebrow raising to say the least. He even had a self-reflection moment accompanied by those dreaded flashbacks. It's highly likely that Endeavor will die this arc, but at least he can go out in a blaze of glory as one of the best characters in MHA. But listen, Endeavor isn't going out alone. He's taking All For One with him. Probably an obvious one, but All For One is 100% dying this arc. No argument. Straight to the deepest and hottest part of the Shadow Realm. There is one big context clue for All For One dying in this arc, and it's that his current body is destined for the scrap heap. Plus, Endeavor is in kill mode right now. He is looking for the kill. All For One knows that he is close to dying right now. This man has been so scared of Endeavor that he had a flashback to when All Might beat him so bad that his face transformed into a ball sack. And since we're talking about villains dying at the hands of a Todoroki, let's talk about deep-fried, skinless Dobby, because he is definitely dying this arc. Now I know what you're all thinking. Dobby already got slammed by Shoto and is now captured. Now yes, that is true. But I refuse to believe that Dobby had all this build-up, all of this development just to be dealt with in 3 chapters at the very beginning of the arc. If the end of that fight was the last we see of Dobby, that's an L. That's disappointing. But hey, look at his chest at the end of chapter 353. You see that glowing light? You see, I believe that little glowing light is actually a secret regeneration quirk. Dobby's gonna regenerate, come back, and continue to do what any good big brother does, and that's beat on their younger siblings. Their fight's gonna continue on for a little bit, and then after like a couple more chapters, Shoto's finally gonna put him 6 feet under by burning him to a crisp, or freezing him solid. Either way, Dobby's going straight to the Shadow Realm after this arc. But let's stay on topic with other villains that are dying this arc. Tomura Shigaraki. Now, I almost had Toga on this list, and it's not necessarily that I predict that she will die this arc, it's more so I want to see Uraraka float Toga high up into the air, and then have her fall back down to the earth and splat on the ground. But Shigaraki, yeah, it's pretty obvious that Shigaraki is gonna die this arc considering he's the main villain. And yeah, I know, Deku wants to save Shigaraki, but the man is far too gone. there is no saving Shigaraki. It is kill or be killed when fighting that man. It should be obvious that you can't save this man Shigaraki after this man has nuked 2 different cities. This man Shigaraki has committed war crimes that would get him either put into a cell buried beneath the prison or the death penalty. What I see happening is that Deku's gonna try to save Shiggy and something bad is gonna happen to a character, possibly Bakugo. Deku's gonna go crazy and then he's gonna use the second user of One For All's meta ability and end the fight. Or at least that's what I predict. But all I know is that Shigaraki is going straight to the Shadow Realm after this arc. And that's not an insult, it's just a fact of life.